Malik Abdul joins us, Republican strategist, radio talk show host, along with Chris Hahn on the panel, the NewsNation contributor and Democratic strategist. I believe just for the sake of you, Malik, so you don't start screaming at Chris, I think his feed is on a little bit of a delay. So it's not that he doesn't hear what you're saying or respond to it, but he's a little behind us today, literally, not figuratively, of course. But let me start with you, Malik, if I can, on the speaker's race. It's not... Most people that are watching this say it's not going to be Trump. Now, we pointed out because weird things have happened in the past. But the other names that have come up, how do you handicap this, or do you at this point?
Well, I think as far as Donald Trump is concerned, I was doing some research on it, and the latest thing that I saw, I think between 2006 and 2014, you can be a member. You don't have to be an actual member of the House of Representatives, but I do believe, at least according to the rules, that you can't be indicted and serve in a leadership capacity. So I think that rules Donald Trump out if those rules have not been changed since then. But I think as far as Scalise or even Jordan is concerned, for me, they're good picks. I was actually fine with Kevin McCarthy, but I think the problem that you're going to have between even a Scalise and a Jordan is which one actually says that there is no Ukraine funding. Jim Jordan has already signaled that for him, it will be no additional Ukraine funding. I'm not sure if Steve Scalise, being the number two already, I'm not sure if Steve Scalise will do that. So it will be a fight between the two.
That's a good point. Yeah, he might not, Chris, go that far, and it'll just point out the fractures in the caucus again on the Republican side. How long do you think? I know they say they're going to get one by, I guess, the middle of next week. A speaker, Chris. How long do you think this will take?
Oh, I think it could take a little bit longer than the middle of next week, especially if Ukraine funding is an issue, as Jim Jordan's making it, right? Look, there are over 100 Republicans in Congress that fully support funding Ukraine, and all the Democrats pretty much do as well. So to say absolutely not to Ukraine, I don't think that person is going to be the next Speaker of the House immediately, unless there's some compromise reached where they will allow a vote on Ukraine funding, but they won't support a vote on Ukraine funding. There needs to be something to that regard so we can bring everybody in the Republican Party together. Or perhaps the problem solvers want to solve a problem and 10 of them walk across the aisle, support Hakeem Jeffries or some other compromise candidate, and we get a coalition government that could get rid of these extremists holding our nation hostage right now for, I don't know, clicks and fundraising. I think that's what they're holding us. I don't know what Matt Gaetz and his 7 friends really want, other than clicks, fundraising, and television appearances.
All right, a couple of other quick things here on the panel before we let you guys go. One is we talked at the top of the hour about this idea. It's getting a lot of attention today. President Biden now suddenly wants to build some of the border wall, right? So let me bring up the one thing we didn't mention in that coverage was the post from former President Trump, which I suppose is predictable, but let's put it up anyway, on his Truth Social platform, basically saying, Malik, yep, I was right. It's interesting to watch Biden break all the environmental laws and what have you. But if you go on to read the whole thing, the basic point is here, he built all these miles and miles of wall, and he had it right. What do you make of that, Malik, but also the reversal from the president today on this issue?
Well, Donald Trump is being Donald Trump. But the reversal for Joe Biden, I think I think it's pretty significant because remember, this wall construction was a symbol of xenophobia, of racism. And so I think the Biden administration is realizing with the crisis that we do have at the border that he has to be more proactive. Now, what he ended up doing is exactly helping himself by actually announcing this, because Republicans have nothing to counter it with, because at this point they're on recess. So during the very week that they ousted Kevin McCarthy, the Congress is on recess. Joe Biden is actually pushing out policies that will help deal with the crisis at the border. He gave himself Democrats a win, and Republicans helped him do that.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.